there, bumblebees. Welcome to the Hive. Thought I'd do a quick run through of World Watercolour Month so you get to see all of them in one little vid. I will point out anything that seems interesting, but other than that, just a little flick through for you all. So let's get into it. So we're using the Arteza Travel watercolour book. It's the first time I've used it. I've had a few issues. I will be keeping an eye on that as I finish through the book, and I'll do a review on it later on. So this is days 1 and 2. This is the view out of my back garden, and this is a local wetland close to our home. So I'm just getting into it at this point. I'm quite happy with this sky, but I've not really got good tonal value on this one. So I have made little notes. If you can read my writing, feel free to pause and have a little look. I'm not hiding it, as you can see, but I'm not sure it'd be terribly useful to yourselves, but there you go. So you've got to get a bit of seaside in every now and again, don't you? And this is Filey Bay. With reflections of the sky on the sand there, wet sand after a rainstorm. This is a local woodland built on top of a coal slag heap. So this is an aqueduct from when I went for a walk with my friend over towards Doncaster. Nice little wetland with the aqueduct in the background. Not sure if I think it might be a viaduct, to be fair. It were a lovely day, so not a lot of cloud, but it did give just enough depth of shadow, and I'm really pleased with how these mid-ground trees turned out. This is a redo of one of my plein air pictures, which I took a photograph of, and I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. I just wish I'd not done the shots of sunlight coming out, but it's not too vivid, so I'm not too upset about it. Sometimes you get a little bit joyful with your paint, and I've literally shot straight across there from day 8 onto day 7, which I found amusing. We've got a couple of scenes here. One is from the local rabbit field and one is from Lancet. This one is one of the ones that had a bit of an issue on. There seems to be some weird kind of square apparition appearing within the paint there. Not something that I've put down, it's just where the paint has sunk in more on that part of the paper, which is a bit odd. Pages stuck together, there we go. So again, just a little, this is the same rabbit field, to be fair, it's just a little bit further down where the trees are edging the field. And again, this is Reeton near Filey on a very misty day. It was lovely to walk through because you could see all the mist rolling up from the sea over the fields that we were walking on, but I wouldn't like it to get any thicker, otherwise I'd be worried I'd fall right off the cliff there. This one's from my drive home, and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Did a little bit of lifting to get the white lines on the road, but the brightness in the sky there, I'm really happy with how that turned out. On the other hand, this one, whilst I do like the picture and I enjoyed the colours within it, I don't have quite enough tonal value for me to be happy with it totally, but I do enjoy the pinks and purples that I've got throughout. Here we've got day 13 and the beginning of day 14. So I'm quite happy with this one. I did make the birds a little bit too big, but who cares? We all like birds, right? And this is day 14, where you can see there's another fail in the paper. And having found one of those previously, I didn't want to keep painting because I know that it's just going to keep sucking in the paint and get darker and darker. So we turned over and we did this one again. And there it is. It's an incredible sunset scene from our local lake, which is called Manvers Lake. It's man-made on top of a local pit. And this is another walk with my friend over towards Dennerby. It's a lovely little walk through a beautiful woodland, quite an old woodland, so there's a lot of really big trees keeping it dark, but this scene just really caught my eye with the brightness in the background. And this is my street. I'm not going to tell you which one my house is, but it's one of those. Quite pleased with how that one turned out. It was a storm that was rolling in and it looked really cool with the darkness and the bright bit of sky left over. And this one is again Manvers Lake with the little duck stood on top of the end of the jetty there. And here we are at Flamborough, which is close to Filey, as you can probably tell, my favourite bit of seaside. This has got some lovely rocks that I've previously drawn on numerous paintings. Feel free to run over to Insta if you want to see some of those. And this is Wombwell Wood, where you can see lots of beautiful birch trees again with the dirty storm cloud coming in for us. This is looking out towards Hoover Stand, which is a local folly built by the Fitzwilliams of Wentworth. It's a very interesting monument if you want to have a look, but it's one of the things that always tells me that I'm home when I've been on holiday or away anywhere. And this was just a little snippet of the thistles in the deep grass where I walk my dog. Shortly after that, my dog's head poked out of there on the next photograph on my phone. Now this one I really enjoyed, and I don't know why. It was just green and a little bit of blue, but I really enjoyed it. I feel like I've caught the filthy, rainy horribleness of that dog walk. So I may try to make that one a little bigger at some point. And this is one of the numerous sunsets that I catch outside of the back window of my home. As you can see, I can just see the sun setting between two houses. So there's lots of photos of this on my telephone, but this was just one that looked particularly interesting with the dark clouds and then a second layer of clouds coming over the top. Again, another walk with my friend and the dog. This one is lakeside, and I'm quite proud of how I've done these back clouds in particular, but also the reflection in the lake. Rather than it just being solid, I've tried to do it with the ripples, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. This again is Lancet, and this is actually up on the peaks behind it with all of the beautiful purple heather in flower and a couple of little sheep crawling through it. And again we're at Filey, Reeton Bay. I feel like I might have gone a little bit too far with the dry brush effect on the water there, but I'm quite happy that I've managed to get the crashing wave effect. Not sure if I needed a little bit more darkness, but the photo was more about the gorse in the front, which I think I've made nice and bright so that it catches your eye. We've got a little bit of a moon picture here. I'm really enjoying how I managed to do the grasses in the front here, and I'm happy that I've caught the brightness in the back, which is what I took the photo of in the first place. Again, got a bit joyful while I was painting the sky and gone straight over the edge of the washi tape there. So here we've got day 28, which went a little bit wrong. If you've watched me on my Twitch channel, you may have seen this one. Wasn't happy at all, wasn't working out at all with the brightness in the clouds on this one. So I accepted that I'd fiddled with it too much and that there was no coming back. So we might as well start again. Started again, and I am a lot happier with this one. I'm happy with how I've got the different fluffy clouds in the background with the pinks and the purples, and how I've got the brightness in the back. And just wish this bit could be a little bit better. So what I've learned is that I definitely need to practice my pink and purple skies. And here we are on day 29 and 30. This is a walk at Dennerby Ings, between Dennerby and Addick. It's a lovely place right down next to the river, where my dog loves to run and swim and chase her ball. We end up being there quite often right through until sunset, so I thought I'd capture that image with a little snippet of the riverbank. Really happy on this one how I've managed to show the glow. Some of these, because they were out of the shadow of the trees, were actually glowing, and I feel like I've managed to show that in those forward tufts of grass. This is a walk around RSPB Oldmore, which is fairly close to our home. This bit takes you through a farmer's field, and I just thought it was really nice how you could see the glow of the sun on top of the corn, but also the darkness of the shadow where it wasn't hitting. Another redo of one of my plein air pieces. And this is a local farmer's field where we walk very regularly. This is our main walk, to be fair. And as I told people on stream when I did it, I used to live on this street when I was a little girl. So I'm very happy with how far I've come. I've learnt a lot of different techniques, and also how to do skies a little bit better, and how to, instead of, as you can see here, I'm dotting all of the leaves, even in the background. I'm dotting all of the leaves and dotting all of the shadows, whereas as I'm coming further forward, I'm using much more of the wet on wet technique, which gives enough of an effect to show you leaves and shadows and things like that. And then I'm only doing the detail in the foreground, so again, no detail in this one, but the bush here in the foreground, I've got that detail on. So this is what I feel like I've learned over the month, and yes, I'm very happy with progress. Can't wait to take this out on plein air trips, which is the reason behind the whole 31 days of the World Watercolour Month. So yes, I'm very happy with it. I hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane, and also knowing where I haven't had little issues. At the end of the day, we all have issues. Nobody is perfect. Always remember that what you see on Instagram is everybody's perfect day. I do try to keep my colours exactly as they are on the paintings, but as you can see here, it never goes perfect in real life. Nobody is perfect at all. Everybody's work has little hiccups. Be proud of what you make, show it to the world, and enjoy yourselves. That's what art is all about. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave you with Lakeside. Thank you for hanging out with me for this little video. Hope you enjoyed a little flick through of my World Watercolour Month 2023. I will be doing more art. Please pop over to my Instagram to see work in progress and finished pieces. If you want to support the channel, we have a Ko-fi where I post lots of my plein air blogs. I've also got an Etsy shop if you want to pop over and see if there's anything you'd be interested in. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter, and every Friday and Saturday evening on Twitch. Thank you for being here, everybody. Now find something that makes you smile. And as always, be happy.